Greetings! Today I'm installing the first of the carbon fiber bits on my Focus RS. Alright, so these are our carbon fiber pieces that we're going to be installing today. As you can see, there are 4 pieces and it's all on the interior. So these 2 bits are going to be going on the center console. So we've got this bit which goes like around like the gear gator, and this bit that goes up around like the climate control buttons and stuff. So those bits, and then we've got these bits which obviously, saying Recaro, they go on the seats. These are seat plates. These are a bit thicker, a bit more sturdy, which is kind of makes sense because they're going on the seats. These 2 bits, because they're going on the center console, we want them to be nice and thin so that they kind of blend in with the rest of the plastics. Application of all these parts is almost exactly the same. If I flip this over, you can see there is some pre-applied tape, some 3M tape on this. So we just need to clean up the area, alcohol it, make sure it's nice and prepped, make sure they're at an appropriate temperature, and stick them on. So we're starting off with these 2 pieces right here, and these are the center console pieces. So the first thing that I'm going to do before I actually stick them on is I'm going to set my climate control to a nice 24 degrees C, because the adhesive on the back of this works better when it's slightly warm. So I'm setting that to 24 degrees. I'm going to press this button that's pointing at my little man's face. Oop. And then that means that I'm going to get some nice heat. Once it warms up, I've got the engine fired up, going to get some nice heat out of here. Then I will hold it up to the heat, warm up the glue, and then we'll stick them on. So while I'm waiting for the heater just to heat up a little bit, I'm going to prep the area to stick the carbon fiber piece onto. So I'm just using a little alcohol wipe thing, and this will make sure that our area is nice and clean, free of any dirt and grease, and make it nice and ready to stick onto. So that should dry fairly quickly because it's alcohol, and then the surface will be ready. Get a wee bit more fan going. Oh yes. Just warming that adhesive up. Works best, I think, as long as it's a bit more warm than room temperature. So 24 degrees C seems like a decent shout. It'll be nice and warm and ready to stick. Okay, so I think we're pretty nicely warmed up and our alcohol is dried off, so I'll get rid of that fan. Okay, so this top piece kind of slips underneath the existing trim here, so we need to kind of go up and in like that. So we squeeze it up in here, just kind of lining up the hole with the trim, the lines of the trim. And then once you're happy, just stick it down, apply some pressure all along. So just push it down and hold it there as best you can along all the edges, just for a little while, just to sort of try and make sure that it's all nicely stuck down, and then it should be good to go. On to the next bit. Okay, so now that that first bit's on, I'm just warming up the second bit. And while that's warming up, I'm just going to prep the area exactly the same as I did before. Alcohol wipe. Okay, so we're nicely warmed up, our area has dried off from the alcohol, so now we're ready to stick this piece on. So, just exactly the same process, we're just going to line everything up nicely. Line it up, stick it down. And then once you're satisfied, once again we're just sort of trying to push it down and then sort of hold it in place for as long as you feel comfortable, just to make sure that you get a nice, decent bond. And then once you're happy with that, we should be good to go on to the next bit. Now, while I'm doing this, I can say that these two carbon pieces for the center console, they came from the Mark III Focus RS Club. If you sign up to the club and you buy these through them, you get a nice little discount, so it's pretty much a no-brainer if you're looking to get these. I'll put a link in the description box below. Okay, now that we have the center console stuff done, we're moving on to these. Now these go onto the side of the seats. They're just little plates that go onto the metal part of the Recaros, which is at the minute just plain blank metal. These will just spruce the look up a little and make it look real cool. And as you can see, obviously I have the blue Recaro logo. You can get these just plain. You can get them made out of just plastic if you want to save a little bit of money. But you can get then also different colors and types of Recaro logo. I went with just sort of like the pinstripe outline one because you can still see it, it looks cool, it adds a little bit of extra spice, but it's a little bit more subtle than the full block Recaro logo, so I think it is just a little bit nicer. And being blue makes sense with the nature of the RS. So, simple enough process, exactly the same as before. We have these sticky strips. We're gonna heat them up again with the heater, and then we'll just line it up and stick it on. So you can see it's going to fit this exact profile right here, and of course, as before, we gave this a rub with some alcohol just to clean it, prep the area. So very simply, you just want to line it up. Just using your hands, just line it up. And once you're happy with the positioning, just push it into place. Same as before, we're going to hold it here until we don't want to hold it anymore, and then that should be that. We've alcoholed this, we've warmed this, so this is our last piece, exactly the same as the other side. We just line it up and stick it on. And once again, hold it in place. Well, there we go. That is the first part of the carbon fiberization of my Focus RS. Really simple, really quick, really easy, and not that expensive, and I think they look great. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the next one. Cheers.